I had 5 sources of income that last year in total made over $1 million. And I'll be sharing in detail what all 5 of my income sources are, how I did it, and more importantly, how you can do it. Because if I can do this, you can do this too. And my goal with this video and every video I do is to be 100% honest and 100% transparent. And here's the truth. Even though all my different sources of income last year made over $1 million, there was a lot of costs and fees and different expenses for all my different businesses. So I didn't get to keep all that money. And before I share my first source of income, I want to be clear about something. I'm not making this video to brag. I'm not making this video to show off. I'm making this video because a little over 8 years ago, I was stuck in a corporate job. And if I worked my butt off, I would get a 3, 4, 5% raise at the end of the year. There was no incentive for me to work hard. And that ended up leading to me getting extremely depressed and absolutely hating life. And for me, quitting my job was extremely scary. And I eventually was able to get up the courage because I read about other people's success stories, other people making money online. And so I'm making this video hopefully to show you what's possible, because this last couple years, I've been able to live my dream life. And right now I'm visiting one of my favorite places in the world. It's a little yoga surf town that has great food. That's what I'm talking about. It's not just being able to make money, it's being able to have the freedom to live the life that you want. And this is something I didn't know was possible. And my goal with this video is to show you what's possible, but also give you some of the actual numbers and the actual details on how you can do it as well. And I'm being really vulnerable and honest in this video, so do me a favor and smash the like button. And if this video gets 1,000 likes, I'm gonna start doing monthly income reports and every month showing you exactly how I'm making my money so you can implement some of the things that I'm learning and apply it so you can make money online. So smash that like button and let's get into my first income source, which is Amazon FBA. And if you don't know what Amazon FBA is, it's a way for you to sell products on Amazon. And Amazon is a giant company. It's a $1.7 trillion company. They make up 50% of all e-commerce sales. You've probably bought something on Amazon. And here's the truth. You can make a lot of money by selling products on Amazon. In fact, around 2/3 of all products that are sold on Amazon are from people like me, people like you, third party, they're just random people. A lot of people think that all the products sold on Amazon are only sold by giant corporations or Amazon themselves. It's not true. A lot of people are making a lot of money off Amazon. In fact, last year, there was over 200,000 sellers that made over $100,000. This is a really big opportunity. And I had one business that last year did over $200,000 on revenue. Now, here's the truth. Revenue is not profit, as you're gonna quickly learn in this video. And there was a lot of expenses associated with running my Amazon business. I had to pay for the cost of the products. That's the actual cost to manufacture the products. I had to pay a 15% fee to Amazon. Just to sell on Amazon's platform, it's a 15% fee. I had to also pay, they offer a service, and this is really important. They offer a service called Fulfilled by Amazon. That's why it's called Amazon FBA, where they fulfill the products for you. And the way this works is you send the products that you want to sell on Amazon's giant platform of a website into their warehouse. And when you get a sale for your product, they pick it, pack it, ship it out to the customer for you. Why this is important is it means you don't need to be in the United States. You don't need to be in a physical location. You can travel to Mexico or wherever you want in the world and your business will keep running. What's even more important about Amazon FBA is, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a decent amount of work to set it up. It's a decent amount of work to create a quality product so you can sell it on Amazon. But once you launch on Amazon, it doesn't take that much work to keep your listing up and running. And that's why it's called passive income. And yes, you might have to spend an hour or 2 a week maintaining your listing, but what's beautiful about this is you can spend the rest of your time doing whatever you want. But there's still a lot of other costs associated with running an Amazon business. Amazon also charges a bunch of random other fees. For instance, they do charge you storage fees, and they do charge you receiving fees and different little things, but this doesn't add up to much. And then there's other things that you might want to consider, like spending money on Amazon PPC. This is pay-per-click advertising. It's a way for you to advertise your products on the Amazon platform, which is an extremely profitable way to advertise your products as long as you know what you're doing. And it's not hard to learn the Amazon PPC platform. And of course, there's just other random fees associated with running a business. And in total, my one primary business on Amazon last year did around $66,000 profit. And that might not sound like a ton of money, but first off, that was about as much money as I made in my corporate job. Even though I didn't really spend that much time working on my Amazon business last year, I was still making a really good amount of money. But another benefit of creating an Amazon FBA business is if you ever get sick of it and you want to sell it, you can do that. You can cash out. Now, if you have a corporate job and one day you get sick of it and you want to walk away, guess what? You stop making money the day you stop working. That's not true with an Amazon FBA business. The day you get sick of it, you can sell it and you can either cash out, or you can do what I did last year, and I ended up selling my business last year, and I got paid $66,000 cash for my business. Plus, on top of that, I made a deal with the person purchasing my business that I would retain 25% of my business, and we signed a contract that he would guarantee basically to grow the company. He guaranteed that we would together launch more products. And what's really cool about this is I'm still involved with my business. I still get to make high-level decisions, but all future expenses he pays for. I can do whatever I want, and he is now responsible for that business, even though I still own 25% of it. And I did another video where I talk in depth about how I sold my business, but that is not my only Amazon business. I also have 2 other Amazon FBA businesses, and those businesses combined did over $100,000 in revenue and around $50,000 profit. Now, the truth is, these 2 other businesses, I do have a partner, a 50-50 partner with both of them. And one of them is Vino Cards, where I'm 50-50 partners with my girlfriend, and the other is a company called B Dancewear, where we sell dance clothing, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And I'm 50-50 partners with my mom. Now, for both of these companies, I don't actually take any of the profit. I let my partners for each of these businesses take 100% of the profit because they do more work and I have other sources of income. I'm also in the process of starting a couple new Amazon FBA businesses, and I'm going to be sharing everything about these businesses, all the revenue, all the expenses, how do I do it, everything on this YouTube channel. So if you want to get those videos, you're going to want to make sure to subscribe. But this leads into my second source of income. And before I get into depth about that, let me explain how I did this, how I started my Amazon business, and this will lead us into this second source of income. So as I mentioned, about 8 years ago, I was stuck in a corporate job. I ended up getting depressed, and I ended up finding this book called The 4-Hour Workweek, and it made me realize if I could create a business that made $100,000 a year passive income, it would free me up to be able to live my dream life and be able to move around the world and do all these different things. So about 8 years ago, I read this book. It changed my life, and after I read the book, every month in my corporate job, I would just get more and more depressed because I knew that there was this opportunity out there to be able to live my dream life, and I wasn't taking advantage of it. Finally, one day, the depression got so bad, I woke up happy for the first time in months. And I realized I knew what I needed to do. I needed to quit my job. So I quit my job cold turkey. Right after I quit my corporate job, I started a dance clothing company with my mom called B Dancewear. And this will lead into my second source of income, which is e-commerce. And you could have a Shopify website, you could have a WooCommerce website, whatever. E-commerce just means online sales. And I'm putting Amazon in a different category than e-commerce because, as I mentioned, 50% of all sales happen on Amazon on the internet, and the other 50% happen on other websites. And I want this to be a wake-up call to you. E-commerce is growing like crazy. In 2019, e-commerce only made up 12% of all retail sales. In 2020, e-commerce jumped up to 16% of all e-commerce sales. E-commerce is growing like crazy, and COVID is just speeding this up because more and more people are buying things online. This is an amazing opportunity, and right now is the perfect time to either start your own website where you sell things or sell on the giant platform that is Amazon. So the question is, what should you do? Should you sell a product on Amazon or on your own e-commerce website? And I'll answer that in just a minute, but last year, my business did about $20,000 in revenue on my Shopify website for a total profit around $7,000, $8,000. At the same time, B Dancewear, the dance clothing company, actually did around $200,000 on our website for a total profit around $60,000, $70,000. Now, I'll be honest with you, last year was one of the worst years we had with the dance clothing company because a lot of different high school dance teams and a lot of different dancers out there, they stopped doing dancing, so they didn't need any costumes. The years before that, we were doing around $400,000 to $500,000 revenue. And again, to be completely honest, I didn't take any of that profit. I let my mom keep all the profit. And that company has a lot of expenses. We actually pay for a facility. We pay employees, though last year we had to sadly lay a lot of them off because sales had dropped so much. Now, before I get into my third source of income, let's answer the question, should you start a Shopify website or should you sell a product on Amazon? And my answer is do both. I ideally think the biggest opportunity right now in e-commerce is to create a passion product. That's something unique, something interesting, something that you're actually passionate about. That's what I did with Performance Nut Butter. And that's why Performance Nut Butter has had so much more success for me than the dance clothing company. And even though last year was not a very good year for us, in total, Performance Nut Butter for me has done over $1 million in revenue for over $300,000 profit over the course of the last last 3 years, completely passive income. Even though the dance clothing company is doing really well, it actually takes a lot of work because we manufacture all the products ourselves. So if you want to know what I think the biggest opportunity is right now, it's to create a passion product, sell it on Amazon, sell it on Shopify, sell it in wholesale, sell it wherever you can. And that's for the most part what I talk about on this channel. And that leads us into income source number 3, which is YouTube ads. And last year from YouTube ads, I made $192,000, which is crazy. And again, I have to be honest with you, there was some expenses and some costs associated with creating this YouTube channel, and I'll go over those in just a minute. But I have to admit something. A lot of people I asked told me not to share this information because I made more money from YouTube than I did from my e-commerce businesses last year. And that's what I teach on this YouTube channel is e-commerce. But I want this to be a wake-up call for you to open your mind and realize the amount of money you make at something is directly related to the amount of value you give to the world. I was able to make more on YouTube for 2 simple reasons: the power of scalability and because knowledge is power. And we live in a knowledge economy right now. And if you have knowledge, information that can help other people, that is worth a lot of money. And what's really impressive about this is it's completely scalable. You see, if I want to start a business, I could probably start 1, 2, 3, 4 businesses a year max, and that would be a lot of work. But through YouTube, the internet, all this great technology that we have, I can share information that can help thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people start their own businesses. This is the principle of scalability. And I find that for me personally, that I can provide more value to the world by helping other people start businesses than I can alone for my own businesses. And that's not true for everybody. I think some people are much better at creating businesses, running businesses. And even though I still enjoy creating e-commerce businesses, and I think I'm pretty good at it, I think that I'm able to give more value to the world by helping other people start their own e-commerce businesses for reasons I'll get into later in this video. And before I get into number 4 and number 5 of my sources of income, I want to be honest with you. My goal is not to be the best Amazon FBA seller or the best e-commerce seller in the world. I don't want to be the Michael Jordan or the Kobe Bryant of e-commerce. My goal instead is to help other people become the Michael Jordan or the Kobe Bryant. My goal in life is to be the Phil Jackson of e-commerce. He wasn't the best basketball player. He played basketball, but what he's good at and what he's known for is developing the talent that was Michael Jordan, developing the talent that was Kobe Bryant, winning a ton of NBA championships, and that was his path to success. And the reason I think I'm probably going to be a better e-commerce teacher than I am an e-commerce practitioner is because I overthink things. And that leads into income source number 4, which is affiliate marketing. You see, when I am starting an e-commerce business, I overthink every single decision, which is not a great skill to have when you're trying to start a business, because there's this idea of speed of implementation. And this is one of the number 1 principles to having success in business is to implement your ideas, implement your tactics as fast as possible so you can learn from your mistakes and then you can go on to do better and better. Now, a shortcut and a little hack is instead of making a bunch of mistakes, learn from people's mistakes that have already done it. And that's why on this YouTube channel, I share all my successes and all my failures so that you and other people can learn from my mistakes. Now, part of overthinking every single decision means anytime I'm about to spend money on something, I compare all the different services, all the different software platforms, everything out there, and I really try to find what is the best solution. So one thing that I do is I share that information on this YouTube channel. For instance, what's better, Shopify versus WooCommerce? I did a bunch of in-depth research on which platform is better. I made a video about it. And here's the beautiful part. In that video, I had what's called affiliate links, where basically are links down in the description or in the info cards. When I share the different platforms, if people click on the link and join Shopify or join WooCommerce using my link, what happens is I get a little bit of a kickback from that company. Now here's the trick. What I did is I signed up for an affiliate link from both of the companies. That way I was able to do an unbiased review. And on top of that, no matter which one someone picked, if they picked it from my video, I got a little bit of a kickback. And I only personally recommend services that I really like. I'm not gonna recommend junk. Honestly, at this point, my word is pretty important. And for me to recommend something, it's not about the short run for me. Even though sometimes I could recommend something and in the short run I might make a lot of money, I'm trying to think about this in the long run. The cool thing about affiliate marketing is there's not really a lot of expenses. For me, all my affiliate sales come from my YouTube videos, and there are some expenses, as I mentioned, with making my YouTube videos. I do have to hire video editors. I do have to pay for equipment, and there's probably some other expenses that I haven't really thought about that I'll include right here. But in total, from both YouTube ads and affiliate marketing combined, I did a little over $300,000 in profit, pure profit that I was able to put in my pocket. And that's freaking mind-blowing. This is one of those things that I want this also to be a wake-up call, that this is a big opportunity. Learn a skill like how to make money or how to do something that people want to learn about on YouTube, and then also start a YouTube channel. A lot of people ask me, why are you teaching Amazon FBA as opposed to teaching YouTube? And the answer is, for most people, I think Amazon FBA is a bigger opportunity when you're first starting. Once you start getting some success with Amazon FBA, definitely start a YouTube channel. The other reason I recommend Amazon FBA for most people starting off is that Amazon FBA is passive. Once you get it set up and get everything going, you can do whatever you want. You can spend your time doing whatever you want. But with YouTube, it's a lot more active. You constantly have to be making videos. If you stop making videos, eventually the YouTube algorithm will get mad at you and you won't, you're not gonna be making money for a long time. Where with my Amazon FBA business, I kind of stopped working on it after the first year and the money kept coming in. And what that allowed me to do was free up my time, free up my energy so I could focus on the things I love doing. And I personally love making YouTube videos. I love teaching about Amazon FBA. And that leads us into income source number 5. But before I reveal that, let me explain how I did this and how you can do this as well. You see, the key to easily having success in life is by not trying to be the best in one field, but instead take two separate fields that you're really good at both and combining them and creating your own category. For instance, I'm not the best Amazon FBA seller out there. I'm also not the best YouTuber out there, but I'm pretty good at selling on Amazon and I'm pretty good at YouTube. And I combine those two things to be one of the best Amazon FBA YouTubers around. Now, it's not enough to just be good at something if you want to get financial success. There also needs to be people out there that are willing to pay for it. Now, even with that, even if you have something that you're good at and people are willing to pay for it, I don't think it's gonna lead to easy success. The next thing you should think about is it something that you love? And then the last part of the equation is it something that is aligned with your purpose in life? If you have all 4 of these things, you're gonna find success in that field extremely easily. And this is the principle of Ikigai. And for me, I'm pretty good at both Amazon and YouTube. People are willing to pay a lot of money if I can teach them how to create passive income. I also absolutely love teaching people how to create their own passion products and sell things on Amazon. And it's also extremely rewarding to me when I get to see people that I helped launch their Amazon business. I get to see them actually launch and create their product. And if you want to see some of these stories, I did put a playlist I'll link up here. And it's people like Mina, Michael, my girlfriend Ariana, Carla, and a bunch of other people that I've helped. And honestly, I think this is my purpose in life, to help people live their dream life by creating a business that helps them have the freedom that they need to do whatever they want. And that's what I've been able to do for these last 3 years since I launched my passion product on Amazon. I've been able to travel and do all the different things that I want. And for the first time over these last few years, money was no longer the thing that was holding me back from my dream life. And it's an absolute amazing feeling when you realize you have the freedom to do whatever you want and that money is no longer something that's holding you back. And I want to help other people do that. That is what excites me. That is what drives me. And with all that being said, it's no surprise that I made more money with this last source of income than I did with anything else that I did last year. But before I reveal what that last income source is, I do have to be honest. There's a lot of other costs and expenses that I incurred last year that I just haven't talked about yet. There's things like I have a team of virtual assistants. I actually have 4 different virtual assistants and it costs a decent amount of money and I had to pay all of them. And it's really affordable. I hired most of my team in the Philippines. I do have a 5th person that's in Spain. His name is Gallo and I actually found him from this YouTube channel. Last year I posted a video saying I was looking to hire someone. He applied. Super smart guy and absolutely amazing. And I do want to point something out. If you want to have a lot of success in business, get good at hiring great people. Every single person on my team is absolutely amazing and it makes my job a lot easier. I also had to pay for a lot of different software and tools and different equipment, for instance, cameras and things like that. And another thing that I want to point out is one of my biggest expenses last year was I joined a $25,000 mastermind. And that sounds shocking to a lot of people, but I know what the value of education is, and I paid $25,000 last year for this. And let me tell you, it was one of the best investments I've ever made because it was an investment in myself. It was an investment in my own education, and it's already paid off probably 5x to 10x. But the cool thing about education and knowledge is it's gonna keep paying off year after year because all the things that I learned from this last year and being part of this mastermind guess what? I'm not gonna forget those next year. It's gonna compound and I'm gonna keep getting more and more from it. And the point of that mastermind and why I paid so much is because it's about how to be a better coach, which, as I've already mentioned, is something that I'm really passionate about. On top of all these expenses, there was a lot of other costs that I incurred. Now, I'm not gonna include things like travel or any kind of business meals because, to be honest, those things are fun. I'm also not including things like rent or utilities, which are at least partially tax deductible, because I don't think they're relevant to this video. But if you wanna know those things, let me know in the comments down below and I'll do a future video talking about those. And that brings me to my fifth source of income and back to my apartment. Now, something cool I wanna share with you is we actually loved it so much down in Mexico that we decided to get rid of this apartment and move down there. And that's the kind of freedom that comes with making money online. And I want to help other people to have that same level of freedom, which brings me to my fifth source of income, which is consulting. And I'm going to share with you exactly how much I made from consulting. Then I'm going to share with you how much profit I did from my 5 income streams when you take out all my costs, take out all the expenses. And then after that, I'm going to share with you the biggest lesson I learned last year that's going to help you make a lot more money online. And as a thank you for sticking through this entire video, at the very end of the video, I have a special free bonus, a special free gift for you. So make sure you stay till the end because this is one of the most valuable things I've ever given away for free. And last year I made over $280,000 from e-commerce consulting. And I specialize on helping people start and grow their online businesses. Specifically, I do some Shopify, I do some Google Ads consulting, but my main focus is Amazon FBA consulting. And I did do some consulting for established Amazon sellers last year, but the main thing that I'm passionate about is actually helping beginner sellers get up and running. And I did do some one-on-one consulting last year, and I included that in the revenue there. But generally speaking, I have to charge a lot for it to be worth my time. So I find it better to do group consulting. And specifically, what I find that works best is getting people into my Amazon FBA program. And with the program, I'm able to do pre-recorded content so people can really get the fundamentals down. But then I also have weekly live Q&A calls and weekly live training. I also launched a Google Ads intensive program at the end of last year, which I'm including in that number. But of course, this revenue stream, like all others, did have some different costs and fees. The first one was I actually hired a virtual assistant purely just to work with all the different people I was doing consulting with. The second thing I paid for was a learner management system. And this is a website that hosts all the pre-recorded content. I also, anytime I answer a question that would be a frequently asked question, I record it and I post it to this website. Because what I find is people have the same questions over and over again. And to save me time, I'll usually answer it once, record it, and then if someone asks the same question, I'll point them to that video. There was also fees like payment processor fees and just other random fees with this income stream. And in total, last year, for my 5 different income streams, I did over $1 million in revenue and over $600,000 profit. And that's not even including the over $200,000 that the dance clothing business did. And it's also not including the over $100,000 I ended up paying to the different partners in my different businesses. And this is all possible. And this all started for me because of e-commerce, because of Amazon. And this didn't happen overnight. I've been doing this for over 8 years. And for me, from Amazon alone last year, I was able to make over $100,000 profit, which is enough money for me to pay my bills, to live in my dream location right next to the beach, and it allowed me to spend my time doing the things I love doing. And I want to share with you the most important lesson I learned last year that's going to help you make more money. But I do want to let you know that if you're interested on how I was able to create an Amazon FBA business that's done over $1 million in revenue, I am doing a detailed video next week where I break down step by step everything that I did. So if that's a video that you're interested, come back in next week. But the most important thing I want to point out is when you learn a skill, leverage that skill into multiple income streams. And if you can create a passive income business, it'll free up your time to be able to explore different income streams. But more important than all of that is that if you can focus on how you can help other people, the money will come. And that is why I still teach Amazon FBA on this channel, because it was the lead domino that led to everything else I've been able to do. And I still think it's the biggest opportunity right now to create a legitimate passive income business. And because of that, I created a free complete course you can get just by clicking right here. And in this video, I show you everything, how you can create a passive income business that you're actually gonna love working on using Amazon. So click on that video, I'll see you in the next video, and remember to enjoy the journey.